Today, crypto prices look pretty stable. We explain why. Plus, new clues about Do Kwon's whereabouts. And state regulators force a metaverse casino to halt NFT sales. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Mackenzie Sigalos. Major cryptocurrencies trading flat to end the week. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin traded right around $19,000 and Ether was worth right around $1,300. Now, at the same time, Solana's price taking a hit this morning. That token fell to $27. Over the past 7 days, Bitcoin dipped about 1.5%, while Ether fell by less than 1%. And although Ether's losses are pretty small, the declines are sort of unexpected. See, since the merge, the number of Ether tokens has gone down. Now, according to Coinbase, the supply of Ether fell by about 0.1%, while the creation rate of new tokens dropped by 90%. Most people expected the cryptocurrency's price would rise as supply fell because it makes the token more scarce and therefore more valuable, but that hasn't happened yet. Still, the declines in Bitcoin and Ether are nothing compared to the past few months. The crypto market has actually been fairly stable. Kristen Smith with the Blockchain Association actually joined CNBC Friday morning to discuss the cause of this recent drop in volatility.
Bitcoin has been largely stable for a couple of reasons. One, you have the retail investor that has largely exited investing in Bitcoin. People are worried about paying for gas. They're worried about paying for groceries. They don't have the ability to put extra money away by investing in Bitcoin at the moment.
Okay, let's talk about the top stories. First, we're getting some insight into Do Kwon's whereabouts as South Korea has been trying to locate the Terraform Labs co-founder. According to Bloomberg, which cited prosecutors in Seoul, a report Kwon left Singapore and flew to Dubai, likely as a stopover, was, quote, not false. Last month, Interpol reportedly issued a red notice for Do Kwon as South Korean officials claim he is on the run, though he has repeatedly denied that he's in hiding. Bloomberg reported, citing a podcast earlier this week, that Kwon refrained from revealing his location because of threats that he had received. A Terraform Labs spokesperson has no comment on today's news. However, in a statement sent to us last month, a spokesperson for the company behind Terra USD and Luna said the case against Kwon had become unfair and, quote, highly politicized. The spokesperson rejected South Korean charges over a $60 billion crypto collapse. Next, regulators in 4 states filed emergency cease and desist orders Thursday against a metaverse casino. State securities boards in Texas, Kentucky, New Jersey, and Alabama accused Slotty of defrauding investors and ordered the virtual casino to immediately stop the sale of its NFTs to retail investors. Law enforcement officials claim the casino's owners were soliciting investors online to participate in an illegal gambling operation in the metaverse. Slotty must immediately stop selling to investors until the security is properly registered, and if the founders violate the order, they could face a fine of up to $10 grand. We reached out to a Slotty spokesperson, but as of noon Eastern, we have not received a response. Last, the UK government has taken steps to recognize crypto as a regulated industry. According to CoinDesk, new legal measures were introduced Friday that would regulate crypto ads and ban unauthorized crypto providers from offering services. The measures amend existing laws to, quote, clarify that the powers relating to financial promotion and regulated activities can be relied on to regulate crypto assets and activities related to crypto assets. According to existing laws in the UK, carrying out regulated financial activities without permission is reportedly prohibited. The bill is expected to be discussed in committee before November 3rd, but could be affected by this week's resignation of Prime Minister Liz Truss. All right, on to our main story of the day. CNBC Digital took a look at just how much energy crypto mining can use and how Ethereum's transition to proof of stake cuts consumption dramatically. Now, they spoke to some of the biggest crypto miners in the world about just how much power their facilities use and how these companies can work with energy firms to use more renewable resources. Take a listen.
My name is Russell Cann. I'm the EVP of Client Services and the Chief Customer Success Officer.
Fred Thiel. I'm Chairman and CEO of Marathon Digital Holdings.
Core Scientific got started in 2017. We're a data center that hosts machines and processing for other companies. In 2017, we started here in Marble, North Carolina. This data center is 104 megawatts. It's about 32,000 machines. We have data centers in 5 states. We have one in the 6th state under development now. Here in North Carolina, we have 2 facilities in Georgia. We have a facility in Kentucky. We have 3 facilities in Texas, and we have a facility in North Dakota. And we have one in Oklahoma that's under development right now. So for core, we have about 130,000 machines that process the Bitcoin network that are our own. And then right now we have about 90,000 that belong to other people that we serve as the data center processor for those folks. By the end of this year, we'll have about 170,000 computers that process Bitcoin, for ourselves. And we'll have close to that many for our hosting clients as well.
Marathon is a public company that has gone through a number of different lives. It was originally started as a vanadium mineral mining extraction business. It's kind of interesting, coincidental to the fact that we now do Bitcoin mining. So we mine Bitcoin for our own account. To date, since we started holding our Bitcoin, or hodling as it's called in the industry, in 2020, we've not sold Bitcoin for the purposes of liquidity. We've used some Bitcoin to pay for fees and things that were attached to the blockchain, if you would, where we had to pay for things in Bitcoin. But generally, we don't sell our Bitcoin, and we've been a holder of Bitcoin. We're one of the largest public entities that hold Bitcoin in the US today, with over 10,000 Bitcoin on our balance sheet.
We have different jobs here. So here in Marble, we have about, like I mentioned before, 32,000 so machines. It's 104 megawatts of power provided by TVA and Duke Energy. And we have about 70 employees. And those employees kind of span the gambit. The biggest group is a data center technician, and that's going to be a guy or a girl that works in the data center, works on the machines. We also are standing right now in our repair center. And that's going to be folks that have a higher skill set that works on the silicon itself and actually does repairs to the ASIC machines and to the little chipset. Much like if you have a CPU at home, a computer at home, it has 1 chip in it. These machines have up to 300 chips in it. Those chips need work on sometimes.
Whenever we do use fossil fuel from the grid, and realize that the grid, depending on where you're using it, has a mix of renewable and fossil fuel, we offset that with renewable energy credits, which are purchased and used 1-for-1 based on 1 megawatt of electricity. So it's a perfect fit for energy users like ourselves.
When you're a small home or you're a small business, you become a client of the power company. When you use as much power as we do, it's more hand in glove. We work with the power companies. So we work with them to say, hey, where do you have excess generation that's not being used? So if you have a wind farm or a solar farm, or you have nuclear power or hydro, and that's excess power, excess generation, it goes into the ground. We'll work with the power company and say, hey, we will take that excess power.
If what we want to do as a country is develop more renewable energy, then what we have to do is create an incentive for energy companies to build out lots of renewable energy. And then once there's lots of capacity, the grid will grow and connect to those sites and will provide that energy to consumers. And so Bitcoin miners should be partnering with renewable energy companies to generate, to operate their Bitcoin operations behind the meter at those farms, so they're not acting as a parasitic load on the grid.
We have to be good partners to the grid operators, and that's the way we view ourselves, as a partner to the grid operators. So yes, carbon neutral and renewable is very important. And that's really, though, important upstream. It's important at the generation side. It's important for Duke, for Southern Company, for TVA, for ERCOT, for Mintonka, for Black River Hills. Like, it's important for the power generation side. So what we do is we try to be a good partner, a good offtake partner, to allow investments in renewables, investments in cleaner energy.
Okay, there is so much more to that story, so check out the full video on Saturday over at youtube.com/CNBC. That's all for Crypto World this week, but we will be back again on Monday, and we'll see you then.